Good morning and welcome to the annual Art Men's Wrestling Media Day. I'm your host, Tony Hager, founder of IA Wrestle. Your next interview here today, we are going to be joined by St. Ambrose head coach Bo Bettinson and Dylan Miners. Thank you guys for taking the time. I know things are crazy with school and wrestling, but we're excited about talking about the Heart Wrestling Conference, man. This is one of the toughest conference, the premier conference in the country, and you guys are a part of it. So thanks, guys. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, doing well, man. Just staying busy. Like you guys said, just we're into
Well,
the
I
thick
mean,
of it now.
yeah, absolutely. Bo, I mean, I've seen you out and about,
Yes, sir.
different various events, a few times. Obviously the recruiting landscape is changing year in, year out. It gets harder and harder, and putting a program together. When we get to this part of the season, kind of recruiting is done, but it never ends. But you get to
Mhm.
focus on the team that you got, right? So
Yep.
how excited are you and your coaching staff? Um, just excited to get started here with the Heart of American duel against Central Methodist.
Yeah, man. I'm super excited. So, you kind of hit on it, is like we're young. So this is our third year. So I'm really excited because we actually have depth at every weight. It's last couple of years, we had every a guy at every weight, but then, somebody rolls an ankle, somebody, messes up a knee or shoulder gets bugged up, concussion, and then we're batting man down, two man down because it's just, we didn't have any depth. So now we have multiple guys at every weight. Um, and tough guys at every weight. We had wrestle offs where we weren't sure who was going to start at every weight, so that's a nice problem to have. So we finally got that. So I'm really really excited for the season. I think we're going to be a tough out for a lot of teams. Um, yeah, I can't wait to get these boys on the mat.
I see your little cheat sheet behind you there. I'm trying to
Always,
zoom in on. Looks like you do got 3 or 4 in each
yeah,
weight class,
three or four,
which is
yeah.
great for any wrestling program
Mm-hmm.
because it pushes that top guy, right, and then it
Yeah,
also pushes those guys on the bottom to have something to strive for. So that's kudos to you guys and be able to recruit. Like I mentioned earlier, it's not easy, right?
no,
On any campus, right? Not just yours, every single campus. But you've got a guy here, that you wanted, on here to represent, obviously, the program. But and I want you to introduce him, just why he's the guy that you wanted to interview today, why he's so important to your program.
yeah, that's easy. I mean, Dylan Miners does everything he does everything that any wrestling coach is going to want him to do. I think he's like a perfect face for the program. I mean, Iowa kid, maybe underperformed a little bit, maybe to his standards in Iowa, in high school, and he came to us and kind of gave us his full trust. Is an academic All American. He does anything I ask him to do. He's finally got through, got him some love, got him ranked in the country. I mean, he's the man. He's a kid that you'd be okay with if he took your daughter out for a date. He's just a good dude. He's just a good dude. So, um, yeah, Dylan, he's the man. Engineering major, double major, and just he kills it, man. He's almost a
What was the
4.0
majors?
student.
Double major. What are those?
What's your second major, Dylan?
Oh, I actually switched it. I was a double
Oh,
major in
give me a
mechanical
liar.
and industrial engineering, but I switched the industrial engineering part to just a minor in computer science instead, which
Give
is
me
Okay.
a
probably
liar, man.
harder.
Come on.
Yeah, Bo, we're sitting here with an engineer. I mean, should we just turn the Zoom off and just, I mean, this
That's what I'm saying, man.
we're just wrestling guys. All right. This
Yeah,
guy's a wrestling
absolutely.
guy and an engineer. So, Dylan, obviously kudos for you for um academics being a strong part of your life and being an academic, all academic. That's a heck of an honor, dude. And um something that you can take with you, at your future life, right? So, um, for those that don't know you, obviously they know that you're super smart. But well, where are you from? What weight class will you fit in here? For St. Ambrose.
Yeah, so I'm from Polk City, Iowa. Went to North Polk High School, just north of Des Moines there. And I'm planning on staying at 184 this year.
How you feeling compared to last year?
Um, Last year, I kind of dealt with a bum knee the whole season, and this year I'm feeling a little bit better going into the season. Still have a little bit of knee pain, but nothing extreme. But I don't think I've ever been more excited to compete with a team than I have this year. Just seeing how complete we are, top to bottom. It's
Yeah.
just going to be one heck of a season.
Yeah, coach talks a little bit about the depth. Obviously, that's good for his team camaraderie and challenge each other, right? But um, what has your experience been like sitting on campus and really, hearing your coach say that you're the guy that, well, you would want to, introduce your daughter to or whatever. But besides that, like a lot of good vibes of like, this is the guy, this is a leader, this is like your poster guy. And there's pressure that comes with that. You have expectations in the classroom, you have expectations in the room right now. So, how are you feeling this year compared to last year, hearing, that coach has those expectations for yourself?
I feel like not much changes there because coach's expectations have always been very clear to me. I mean, he's always he's always been hard on us about grades, and I kind of take that personally because my parents stressed it when I was younger. So it just takes it to a whole nother level when your mom isn't there to watch your grades now, but now you got a team and a coach to do it for. And a lot of it is leading by example. And I think it kind of takes the pressure off when I see my team following and doing those things right and following that example. But there definitely is a little bit of pressure, keeping that clean act. The grades are as you get up in school, your classes get harder and harder, but keeping that up and continuing to work just as hard in the wrestling room when you're had a long day and you maybe had a 2 hour lab, like you still got to bring it in the room. And that's just one thing I've been trying to do better at since my freshman year. Every year, just keep bringing it a little bit more and more, even as the classes get harder.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to adjust to college life, right? And the distractions we have outside the classroom and the wrestling room. So it's never easy. And coach, you talked to us a little bit about your depth in the program, and you're excited for that. Maybe you haven't had it in the past. And when it comes to the depth and figuring out who's going to represent SAU, do you have a wrestle off system? Are you more of like, hey, here's how the kids are doing at the opens, and it's a gut feeling of who you feel is the best to represent at each weight class? Because the nice thing about the Heart and NAI is at the end of the season, you can put multiple guys at a specific weight class, so you
Yeah.
guys have that advantage over the other divisions, which I love. So how's that vetting process work for St. Ambrose?
Yeah, so I mean, we did our wrestle off already, so and that's kind of more of like a ranking, right? It's just kind of like that ranking series. Here, let's get an idea of where we're at the moment. It's not going to stay the same. I really doubt it. Just guys are going to get banged up, some guys are going to get hot, whatever. So it's kind of a little bit of both what you said, right? So it's like we did our wrestle off. We all know where we sit. Okay, now let's. It can't just be who's winning in the room, though, right? It's who's getting it done at opens. We wrestle a lot. Um, we wrestle a lot, especially a lot in November. So it's like, let's figure out who the guy is. Everybody's gonna get an opportunity. I tell them every single day, like, hey, you guys are gonna get an opportunity to wrestle the best guys in the country and an opportunity to be the guy. So when it's your turn, right, you better step up. You want to be the guy, go be the guy. I want you to be the guy. I don't care who it is. So go step up, go be the guy, make yourself undeniable. Don't give me a choice to take you. Okay, hey, you're the guy. Let's go. I don't care who it is. I want to put the best team on the mat. Spent 2 years of, maybe in my mind kind of underperforming a little bit, and I'm tired of losing. So it's time to win now.
Yeah.
So
And coach, you've been involved with NAI wrestling for a while now as an
yeah.
athlete, coach.
Mhm.
So you have respect for this level. You have
Yeah.
respect for this conference. What
Mhm.
is it about specifically the Heart that just gets you up in the morning to get those wins, right?
Yeah.
And keep grinding and breaking through those walls, right? Because it's a tough conference, right? And
Yeah.
and keeping that positive energy in your team.
Well, I mean, you kind of hit it on the right on the nose right away. It's the premier conference. When you have teams like Grandview who kind of set the standard across the country, my opinion, not just in the NAI, but I mean they can compete with a lot of D1 schools. I mean they are the gold standard. So when you have that to chase in your own conference, and then you have teams like Missouri Valley, Baker, Central Methodist, Missouri Valley, you have, and I left some off. They're every team in our conference is good. They're all competitive. So if you're not ready to go, you're going to get beat. So it's like every day you wake up like, okay, hey, who do we got next? All right, Central Methodist is next. All right, we got to be ready to go because they're salty. They're good. They got a new coach. So they're going to look a little different. So it's like, okay, we got to be ready to go because if not, we're going to go get whipped. And that's
Yeah,
kind of the cool thing about our conferences. That's how every team is. We don't get a week off if we're dueling somebody in our conference. There's no week off. Everybody's good. So, and I think it helps keeps the guys sharp too. It's like, look, you guys want to be an All American? Well, you have a hard if you can get through our conference, you're going to be right in the mix. So,
absolutely. You know exactly
which
where
is
you
nice.
stand,
Yeah,
every week.
yeah, every
You know
week.
where
Yeah,
you stand every
exactly.
week.
Yeah, you don't. I don't want to talk bad about any other conference, but there's some conferences out there that maybe not aren't as tough. So it's like, oh, I could take a week off here. We can do this. It's like we can't do that. We
Yeah.
got we got to be ready to go. Like Baker's good, Missouri Valley's good, Graceland's good, William Penn's good. Those teams are good. So
Yeah.
we want, and that's what we want to be. We're year 3, but we want to be looked at as a team that's good. Not just like, okay, hey, St. Ambrose, they got a couple of tough guys. We want to be those teams. So we gotta go earn it.
And Dylan, hearing your coach talk just about going earner and being a leader of this team, uh, sounds like November is going to be a grinder for you guys on purpose.
Yeah.
You guys are going to Reno, and
Yeah.
that is an opportunity for you guys to obviously compete with Grandview's there, and be able to compete obviously within the conference there. But there's some high level Division I teams there, expected to be there, right? So when you see that on the schedule, you hear Coach, hey, we're going to Reno. Maybe a little vacation, but you're there to do business, right? What kind of goes through your mind for that opportunity?
Yeah, Reno was amazing last year. It's one of those things we leave during finals week, so it's peak stress in the year, but it's that chance to go out there and wrestle and remember that, oh, hey, I'm done with school now. Like I just finished my finals. Sure, you have maybe had a bad final. Go let it out. Go have fun. Like we're on the other side of the country. You're on the West Coast. Like just like first round last year, just running into some of these tough guys. I ran into some D1 guys, just studs, and it was just a chance to really like get out there and wrestle people we don't normally see, right? I mean, we wrestle all of our conference guys here in the Midwest, but we got out there and we got a chance to see Eastern Oregon and Montana State, and I think Oregon State was there. I mean, just schools that you don't normally see here around Iowa, here in Missouri, Kansas, and it's just a great time and a great learning experience.
Coach, you guys got speaking of like tough competition, you got Northern Illinois in a
Mm-hmm.
duel,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And seeking out that competition, it's pretty clear that you guys aren't shying away from any division. How exciting is that to lead your guys into battle of
Yeah.
like, listen, this is where this is where we're at, right? And who's going to step
Yep.
up?
Yeah. That was kind of the the goal is, here's D1 school. You guys talk about, there's been a lot. I talk about it a lot this year. It's like I have pretty high expectations for this team. So it's like, hey, let's go feel what these D1 guys are doing. So then when we come back in the room, it's like, guys, what I've been telling you to do, I'm not just making it up, right? There's a purpose to this, but it's also like I think we can compete. I think it's gonna be a good little gauge. I think these guys are gonna go out there and they're gonna shock themselves a little bit. But hey man, that's what you dream of, right? When you first started wrestling, you know, wasn't to just go wrestle in the Hart Conference or whatever it was. You want to go wrestle the best guys in the country. I don't care the division. I don't care where they are. We want to go wrestle those guys. So when that opportunity popped up, it was absolutely. And then it was, oh, hey, do you also want to wrestle Lindenwood? Yes. I mean, there's no second guess on it. Let's go. We don't run from anybody. I try to wrestle the best teams that we can, and I think we got a pretty good little schedule coming together. I'm really, really excited for that duel.
Coach, your team was recognized in the preseason rankings.
Mm-hmm.
you're year three, right? Year
Yep.
three. Um,
Year three.
I gotta imagine that that's been a motivation to to climb that ladder to there's a it's maybe been a goal. I don't know.
Yeah.
Year three goals maybe look different than year one goals. So what is your goal this year for your team? Realistic goals for like mid-season, postseason success?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if my goals have really changed that much for the team. The biggest goal really is like how good can we be? I mean, I think that's ultimately the goal every year is I want the team to be as good as it possibly can be. I think we have a team, you know, I don't see why we can't be ranked in the top 20. I really don't. I think we have a team that can do it. You mentioned, I've been around in the NAI for a little while, and I just know what I have in my room. And if these guys step up and get after it, I really, really think we could be a top 20 team. Ultimate goal is we haven't had an All American yet, so we gotta get somebody on the podium. I've mentioned it already once, but it's like it's time to we have the guys that can do it. No more talking about it. It's time to do it now, right? Let's go get it done.
Dylan, the expectations are to get that All American, right? That's the goal. So, obviously challenges in the room on the mat. What is like what has influenced you or what's pushing you, to be so motivated on the mat and in the classroom? Is there someone in your life back home that has pushed you to this success?
My parents pushed me really hard. They've always been not hard on me, but they've always expected me to do great things, and just keeping that in the back of my mind, like I want to make them proud and continue to make them proud. And this thought of like right being the first All American at St. Ambrose, that was a really attractive thing when I came on my visit. It was like this is a team that hasn't existed before. Now you can come here and you get the chance to be one of those first guys to be part of an All American team and just a team in general that's top 20. Like it's really awesome thing. And I know we got some guys that I know we have quite a few guys that are able to do it. And it's just going to be really awesome. Like, cause it builds a competitive atmosphere in the room,
Yeah,
knowing that there's multiple of us that want to be that first All American. So it just it's like a little competition amongst ourselves too.
absolutely. It's good to have not only just individual goals but team goals, and you hope the best for everybody to get that done for coach, right? And coach wants more than one All-American, I can promise you that. So
Yeah.
coach, we and Dylan, I appreciate you guys taking the time here for the Heart Wrestling Media Day, and we look at as a conference look forward to covering you, and I are also covering you guys as you guys continue to grow into this grind of a wrestling season that we always love, right? So
Yes,
thank you
sir.
guys for
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.